Oh, Mrs. Garcia, how do you balance it all? You're a school counselor and new homeowner, a mother of two, and grad student. You're an Ander. At National University, we see the whole you. That's why we're dedicated to your professional growth through faculty mentorships and career support, so you can focus on what matters most. National University, supporting the whole you. Learn more at nu.edu.
This is Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Hour number 3, Ready, Set, Bet here on VSiN. The drama over at Augusta National. Getting hot and heavy. Matt Brown, Mike Somich here for the next hour as we see how this goes, where Bryson DeChambeau currently on the green at 2 for an eagle putt. It's a long one. It would be a bomb for sure. But a birdie will get him the lead.
Yes, and that is likely.
Yeah, so we will see how this all starts to play out. But just a completely disastrous start for Rory McIlroy as he double bogeys 1, drives it into the fairway bunker on 2, has to lay up, and then does not put his wedge very close. That said, Bryson left himself some work.
But it's still moving. Yeah. It's rolling very slowly.
God. That's the slowest a golf ball can roll. A golf ball can't even roll slower than that.
But he does have, it looks like, I'd say 10, 12 feet for birdie. So not a tap in here for Bryson at 2. And this is, Rory started yesterday 4 under through 3 holes. He is going to be over par through 3 holes.
Yeah, that is going to be crazy stuff. But as we said, big day over in the association as well. And here to help us break it down over in the Progressive Guest Line, going to join us here, Noops Christenson. You can see him over at FTN Bets, betting analyst over there. Noops, we were talking as we head in here, and we were just saying, this game is cruel, where it's, one bad thing you mentioned is like, what if in the NBA, every time you missed one shot, you were basically going to miss the next 4, because it's just like the way that things compound. It's just not that way. And then in golf, here we are. It's like, yeah, you hit it in the woods, then the next one you got to punch out, and then the next shot's even harder because now you're in your head and you're all these. It's just so crazy. And you're on the opposite side of me though. You're rooting for a Bryson win here.
Absolutely. And, at least one of the two of us will be happy. So that kind of nets out here. And even as someone that was cheering for Bryson, I am really surprised with the way Rory started. As we were kind of talking about beforehand, you have to kind of know, I think, as a golfer coming into this, your goal is to make the easiest par possible on one, just to get up and hit, honestly, like a couple lame, easy shots, get yourself anywhere on the green and somehow get away with 4. And then to watch Rory make that error and then compound it again to walk away with double there, it's just brutal. And there's a lot of golf left, but it's going to be hard for him to shake that off. And again, given his history here, especially, I wonder if he could overcome this, especially if Bryson is able to, again, pull away quickly. There's going to be a lot of pressure.
Did at least lag it close and was able to get in for par. So we'll see what happens there with Bryson. So the Eastern Conference, not very interesting here this morning. So at least we have the Western Conference to shake things up. And of course, the game that matters the most here with the Clippers and the Warriors. How do you see this one going down, and what do you expect from Steph in this thing?
I think this is going to be an absolutely fantastic game, although Steph Curry is listed as questionable currently. And again, that may just have updated. We're getting kind of fresh injury stuff as we're talking right now. I expect him to play. I think he could have played in their last game, but was basically just resting up for what really is a win to avoid the play-in game. Whoever wins this game will end up being, kind of that 6 seed, maybe even as high as 5, depending on how a few other things shake out. The loser is almost certainly going to end up in the 7, maybe even the 8 slot. So this is going to feel like a playoff game, guys. I think we're going to see two teams really extend their best players, really try to grind this game down. I think the under is a solid look here, but my favorite bet is the spread. I have this game a little bit closer to a pick'em. Warriors obviously at home should be maybe, I would have, again, like 1 point favorite, somewhere in that range. So 3.5 looks like a really nice number. And again, in a game where I think those extra couple points at the end are really going to make a big difference given how tight I expect it to be. So should be a really fun basketball game. Again, have that playoff feel. Give me the Clippers.
Yeah, I'm on the Clippers today, too. I like the 4 that we're catching now in the market. I think that's a nice number with a game where I think the Clippers highly motivated to try and get the win here. Bryson does birdie, too, so he's now 1 up on Rory heading to the third tee. One of the things that Matt and I talked about quite a bit when we were going through the Eastern Conference today or this morning was the player props and how difficult it can be on a day like today for books to be able to set those lines because the minutes are all over the place. You're playing more guys for some of these teams that don't have much to play for, and you're going to attack a player prop in the Western Conference here with Stephon Castle. What do you like with him today?
Yeah, it's a really tough day for betting in general, but player props especially. And I understand, it's a really tough day. There's a lot going on, a lot of unknown. I understand why books are hanging smaller menus. If I ran a book, that's what I would do. But Stephon Castle, all of his props are up. They have been for the last couple games as the San Antonio Spurs really have no reason to win or lose. They're kind of locked into their position. They've really been playing their young guys as much as they can. And one of the wrinkles I've seen over the last couple weeks, Stephon Castle picks up a ton more usage when Jeremy Sochan and Keldon Johnson are out. Both the guys are out tonight. We're looking at a points, rebounds, and assist total for him around 33.5. Our model over at FTN has him comfortably over that number. And again, I take that and sort of adjust similar to what games that we've seen with him without these guys. A lot of today is going to be about usage. So try to get a feel for who's going to play. Castles should play a ton here in the last game of the year. I expect him to fill up the stat sheet. Give me over on his PRA.
Talking to Noops Christenson, you can find his great work over at FTN Noops. We do know 2 series that are going to happen. We got prices out on those, and one of which is the Knicks and the Pistons. Currently, the Knicks minus 425 on the series line, plus 330 with the Pistons as dogs. And is it the price, or is it the team, or is it a little combination of both where you like the Pistons here?
It's kind of a combination of everything here where, again, as much as I love Tom Thibodeau and I love this Knicks team in the regular season, when it comes to the playoffs, these guys have just so much mileage on them. Pretty much everyone on this team is carrying some sort of nagging injury outside of Bridges here. And I look at this matchup, the Pistons have been one of the best teams in the NBA the last couple months, whereas the Knicks have sort of floundered again because of injuries. I mean, okay, Cunningham has missed some time, but in a lot of ways that's given him an opportunity to rest. I thought he looked great in the last couple games. I know that the Knicks have home court advantage here and will almost certainly win that home opener. The Pistons, a younger team in their first playoff game. Yes, they do have a couple veterans who've been in the playoffs and kind of help these guys understand what's going on, but it's going to be a big moment. But I go back and look at this matchup, and the Pistons have beaten the Knicks outright 3 times already this year in what are pretty clean games, even a spot where the Knicks had a big rest advantage over the Pistons. Detroit came through here. So I like the Pistons here. I get why the Knicks are the favorite in the series. They obviously should be. I'm not going to try to tell you the Pistons should be favored in the series, but plus 330 is a really, really big number. I had this closer to like plus 225, even in the plus 250 range, even as I try to adjust closer to market. So I like the Pistons here, and even look at some other markets where you can do something like, say, Knicks to win game 1, Pistons to win the series. I bet little things like that are going to be good bets as well. Take a unit and kind of break it up.
Yeah, I was surprised that we're only seeing minus 115 on the over 5.5 games in this series as well. Highly unlikely in my mind that you're not going to see the Pistons get at least 2 of these games in the series if they're not able to win it outright. Now, the other series that is currently locked in, the Indiana Pacers, minus 180, taking on the Milwaukee Bucks, sitting at plus 150. And you are going to find a more unique way to play this one to get a little better price.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts about NBA playoff betting, guys, is all the different options. There's a lot of game theory around thinking through series spreads, series result spreads, exact outcomes, and a market that I just mentioned, one team to win the first game or game X as some books listed, and then a different team to win the series or the same team. And as I look at kind of this series here with the Milwaukee Bucks, kind of waiting for Dame Lillard. It sounds like, based on what they said, again, I think the exact wording was something along the lines of he'll be back during the playoffs, which doesn't, to me, sound like we're going to see a healthy Dame Lillard game 1. Maybe he plays, but I expect it to be in a limited capacity at best. Again, that gives Indiana a big advantage here. And I think, obviously, in the playoffs here, they've played Milwaukee in big games last season, did pretty well against them this year. I think they're going to win that first game at home. Again, with a limited Lillard, I think it's even really a struggle for the Milwaukee Bucks to get that. But I like the Bucks as this series goes along. I think Milwaukee can find ways to sort of grind this series out. Giannis Antetokounmpo will be the best player in this series. Dame has a chance really to be the second best player if he comes back and looks pretty solid. Again, not quite sure what he's been doing with his injury, but has had a lot of time to be off and recover. Maybe this is a chance for him to sort of come back and be a little bit fresh. So you can go in and play that combination. Pacers to win the first game, Bucks to win the series. I'm seeing that at plus 500. I like that quite a bit. Go ahead and play the Bucks to win the series if you you like. But I think, again, getting a little more creative and going a little further down the board, we're going to find more value.
Noops, as we enter the playoffs, obviously we know who the stud teams were all season long. Is there any one of them that you are less confident in maybe than one of the others? Or do you think that the top is definitely the top and they are going to show it here in the playoffs?
I think in the Eastern Conference, we have basically been on a slow roll to the Cavaliers and the Celtics playing in the Eastern Conference Finals, barring some sort of horrible injury kind of situation or goofy thing like that. That's going to happen. I feel pretty confident. I've continued to believe the Cavaliers can be competitive and win that series. I think it'll be priced fairly close. As far as the Western Conference, I don't know what to expect in that. If you ask me to find a way for the Thunder not to win the Western Conference, I kind of have to go really sideways on things. I think that the argument that they're too young and they don't have experience is overblown, especially given what they did last year in the playoffs and what they kind of had to fight through. And ultimately, I think what they took away from that Dallas series, where in a lot of ways they were the better team, but Luka was the best player and was able to sort of carry the Mavericks through. So I still continue to think it's going to be the Thunder versus the winner of Cavs Celtics. Maybe the Thunder again. There's barring some sort of goofy injury or something. I just don't see any of these teams in the Western Conference being able to hang with them in 7 games, even with maybe the veteran presence of the Warriors or the veteran presence of the Lakers, something like that. Every time someone tells me a reason the Thunder aren't going to win, I don't believe it.
I love it. He's Noops Christenson. You can find his work over at FTN. Awesome betting analyst over there for them. So be sure and take in their great work, Noops. Appreciate it. Enjoy the golf. Hope you don't win. And, and have a go and talk to you soon, buddy.
Worst of luck to you, Matt and Rory McIlroy. Best of luck to everybody else until we talk again.
So good, so good. We do have a new leader. Bryson did make that birdie on 2, and so 11 under for Bryson DeChambeau, 10 under for Rory McIlroy, Ludwig Oberg, and Corey Connors sitting at 7. Corey Connors probably kicking himself right now, even if he was just, even if he had just started even through the first 3, he would only be a couple off the lead, but instead finds himself looking up at Bryson DeChambeau, who is sitting as your betting favorite, now out to minus 120 there on that one. Let's talk some NFL draft when we come back.
Oh, Mrs. Garcia, you're a school counselor and new homeowner and grad student. You're an ANDER. National University supports the whole you, so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at nu.edu.
Welcome back to Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Ready, Set, Bet. Matt Brown, Mike Somich here on a Sunday, as we have watched Bryson DeChambeau erase a 2-stroke deficit in 2 holes and is now leading this tournament 11 under. Rory McIlroy does have a birdie putt here on 3 that would tie Bryson DeChambeau. It's going to be a very, very fast, slippery putt that it's not a putt and pray for these guys because they're way better than we are. It's a putt and pray for us.
It is a putt and pray for us.
Like he's going to hit this confidently. I would be like, I have no idea what to do here. I would just be praying not to blast it by, Well,
that's the thing. You just tap it.
And he taps it, and it curls in the
Rory
hole.
nails it.
So we are back tied atop the leaderboard.
That's a big putt. That is a big putt for Rory.
Huge putt for Rory. It is that short par 4. He hammered a drive, and if the green wasn't raised 20 feet above whatever, he would have drove the green. I mean, he hammered it. It rolled up on the side of the ledge and then rolled back down. He chips it up in a very fast, slippery putt, and he just puts it in the side of the cup. So, all right.
We got a match.
That was, I'm not going to say that was the whole tournament, Mike, but if that had lipped out where his mind state probably already was right now, if that had lipped out, holy mackerel.
Well, if that had lipped out and then Bryson makes this, and all of a sudden it's 12 and 10, it's flipped out, it's flipped the other way, you have a 4-stroke swing through 3 holes, that would have been very, very, very difficult here. So now Bryson has a birdie putt to regain the lead, shorter than Rory's. And you mentioned it, a little bit easier of a putt here as well, because you're going uphill versus going downhill. So
yeah, he can be aggressive with this one, which I imagine he will be in his little awkward stance that he does.
I can't stand how long he waits over the ball too.
And The putt. Oh, this is for par.
Oh, this is par?
He missed his and left himself a lengthy par putt here.
Oh, this makes this a lot more interesting now.
See, we're on air and we're doing content, so we don't get to
we
see every shot.
We don't get to
see every shot. So that's how this works out sometimes. So we're shocked. This is actually for par. So this is a lengthy par save here for Bryson DeChambeau, who stands with his putter that is the same length as all his other clubs because that's his the thing that he does. So he just...
What a flip here if you do see Bryson bogey this hole and Rory birdie it after the start we saw from McIlroy.
We said it was going to be fun.
I mean, this is why I love it's the two of them too. Like I get that you've got the guys at 7 under. Doesn't feel like they're in play right now. Bryson misses it.
And he left himself that downhiller that's going to be a little slippery.
He should make the downhiller, but it's not a gimme. We're not tapping it in, but Bryson going to fall to 10 under here, and so he comes back, gives one back to Rory, and Rory now will take the lead to the 4th tee, and you can tell Matt a little more excited.
No, this odds board is going to be wacky.
Oh, it's going to flash again, yeah. All day, it's going to go back and forth between the two.
So there we go. -150 Rory McIlroy, +180 Bryson DeChambeau.
And he nails the...
So now I've got to figure out...
He makes the bogey.
So now I've got to figure out, now that it's back to +180...
Do you want more Bryson?
Right. Do I want more Bryson or do I just roll with it? I mean, I'm at least going to profit now no matter what.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to leave it alone.
That was a huge hole for Rory psychologically.
Yeah.
To be able to get that stroke back and then see Bryson drop one as well. A big step forward for Rory there in his quest to capture the Masters.
You know what? I'm leaving it alone.
You mentioned it. If he misses that putt, that you could just kind of see the mental gears really struggle after that great drive and setting himself up well. He needed to birdie 3.
Yeah, I'm leaving it alone. I've locked in some money now. I'm just going to roll with the guy that I bet in the first place.
And you believe
it. That I bet in the first place. Guys, we talked about this a little bit earlier in the show. If you do not already have a First Bet account, please go in. That is firstbet.com, the number one STBET.com. VSiN 200 is going to get you a 20% rebate on all your wagers for the first 60 days, up to $200. So you can go in and you can bet along with Mike and all the horse racing experts that we have here at this very network. And as we said, not only can you bet in that app, but you can sit there and watch the races happen right in there as well. So again, firstbet.com, the number one STBET.com. VSiN 200 is your code, and we're going to give you $200 cash back on your wagers. 20% rebate on all those for the first 60 days. Have our horses run yet?
No, horses have not run yet. I believe we are about to get to the 6th race at Keeneland. Yeah, we're about 20 minutes away from the 6th race, so we've still got time before we have the number in the 8th race at Keeneland. We are going with...
We got the 7th race in which we're going with the number 5.
Oh, yep.
And then the 8th race, we're going with the number 7. So Into Champagne and Pandora's Gift is where we are looking here at Keeneland. Again, they got a little time, yeah?
Yeah, we got a little time. So the 8th race is going to go off here at 1:44. So we're about 45 minutes after our show ends, Keeneland's 8th will go off. And the 7th is going off right around 1:15.
So even better, people, this is when you go in, firstbet.com, take advantage of it, load your account, and now you got a little time to make. You're not rushing.
Got 52 minutes till Into Champagne hopefully romps home at 6-1.
You can take a deep breath. You can just go in and do what you need to do here. This is a 232-yard par 3.
And what club would you use?
I would probably hit a 7-wood.
Okay.
And I would be okay with being short.
I would try and hit a draw 4-iron. And probably end up short.
He is Rory McIlroy's hitting a 4-iron. You're hitting the same club as Rory McIlroy?
230? Well, the problem is like my...
Oh, what a good shot.
Oh, that was an incredible
gosh.
shot. That's a much better shot than I would hit.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I hit my 4 and usually like 215.
So this is the difference between what they can do and what we can. So he can hit the ball so high. He made that 4-iron stick.
Mm-hmm. I'm not making a 4-iron stick.
Like 4-irons for us just come out so low that the chance of them sticking is like zero, like nearly zero. And then he just stuck that 4-iron, like just unbelievable. Okay, we're going to get into some more draft position betting here. Second cornerback selected in the draft, Mike, which is an interesting market out there because, listen, for the sake of these markets, guys, Travis Hunter is listed as a corner. So they're not counting him as a wide receiver at all. So, and Bryson's going to be just off the edge of the green there. Probably no, he's going to chip that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's too long to putt it. So he'll be chipping. So Travis Hunter's going to be the first one off for sure.
Agreed.
That we already know.
Yeah.
So that's why this market, if you look and you see he's 45-1 to be the second, he is going to be the first corner for sure, because for these purposes, he is listed as a corner. So then it becomes, who is the next guy? Will Johnson is minus 270 to be the second cornerback selected. Mike, typically these are the type of markets where I like to attack the third guy, because it's a deal where I'm like, well, what if the team really likes just what this guy's skill set brings to the table over this guy's skill set, except for the fact that like Will Johnson is going in at like the 10-11 range in every mock, and like Barron is going like 20, 21, yeah. 22, 23. So like it would have to be a big difference in team philosophy and what teams want in a corner for, I think, Barron to move up again, like the consensus 10 slots.
Yeah, there's a sizable gap between these two, and I'm not sure the odds reflect that gap.
Yeah.
Because right now, Will Johnson's sitting at minus 270.
Barron's 400. Yeah, sure, we take the shot then.
Well, exactly, but you're looking at plus 205 on Barron.
Yeah.
And like that just feels like it should be double, considering what we're seeing from a mock perspective. And you always have the opportunity, like you said, for one team to love a skill set of a player, and they're going to go ahead and upset the apple cart and take the less thought of player, or the player being mocked later. Generally, you don't see that 10 picks apart at a position like cornerback. Cornerback, you don't get as much variance as you would at like tight end, for instance, or even sometime offensive lineman, where they're looking for different skill sets. Cornerback, pretty much, can you cover or not? Like you don't see that many surprises with this big of a delta. You'll like the Stingley Sauce Gardner year. You could say that was a surprise, but they were going to
go within 2 picks of each other.
Exactly.
Anyway.
8 and 10. Right. Yeah. And this is not a situation where one's at 10 and one's at 12.
Yeah.
This is a situation where one's at 10-ish and the other is in the 20s.
Yeah. Like they were going to be 2 picks apart in that year. And like in this year, that's just not the case. And so again, I know we don't like, it's not for every bankroll, but 270 for Will Johnson actually is probably a bettable number for me, because I think that this is a 80% likely chance of happening. I mean, again,
if you need 4-1 to bet Barron, 270 is playable on Johnson, right? And then so because just the way that numbers work.
So
I agree with you. I think Johnson's bettable here at minus 270 if you're willing to tie up some money for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's and I typically look for the dog in these type of situations, which lets you know kind of how confident I am in a lot of these mocks out there, where it's like Barron is not listed ahead of Johnson not one single time in any of the mocks that I look at. And typically you'll at least see this guy went here or this guy went here, and this guy makes a pretty good point because this, that, and the other. That's just not happening here.
Or Johnson is dropping in mocks, right? You see him, he was mocked 8 and now he's 12, and one he's 14 and another's 15. And that's a scenario where that other guy can jump you. He's pretty much been in that 8 to 11 range in almost every mock for the last 3 months. It's just hard to see him falling and someone else jumping.
We got to look here in this Mets and A's game. We've got to look here in this Brewers and Diamondbacks game as well. A slew of games going off here in the next half hour or so. We'll give you our thoughts and maybe get you some bets in your account.
Welcome back to Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Ready, Set, Bet here on VSiN. Matt Brown, Mike Somich, as we watch the birdie putt go for Rory, the par putt slide underneath for Bryson, and just like that, we're back to a 3-stroke lead
for Rory
McIlroy.
After he lost the lead in one hole.
Wow. This is just unbelievable.
Now all the pressure's on Bryson
so far in this.
I mean, the Rory answered the bell. Now Bryson has to step up, and he needs to go out there and answer the bell back.
This is just, I mean, this looked like complete and utter disaster for Rory McIlroy yet again. Mm-hmm. He doubles one, drives 2 into the fairway bunker, has to lay up, leaves his wedge in way out, has to lag putt to get par on 2. And then we look up 2 holes later, and he's up 3 strokes.
Birdie. Phenomenal drives on 3 and 4, and able to just put himself in position and makes putts. A huge response. I mean, the mental state of Rory, and you mentioned the putt on 2. That was also very important.
He does not like this drive.
Yeah, he missed that one. He
came right out of that one.
The putt on 2 to be able to save par made a big difference here, and then the birdie on 3 obviously big. But now he is in the pine straw here on 4.
Oh, this is going to be a punch out situation.
This is some tree trouble. He actually has a lane there. We'll see. This is going to be an interesting second shot here from Rory. Now, Bryson...
The good thing is they found the ball, so it's not going to be a drop situation.
Now, Bryson has to respond. This is a big shot here for Bryson because all of a sudden, if you can drive it in there and be able to create a situation where you can flip 2 strokes on a hole or have the opportunity to, it's massive.
The people... So, a little bit of a... I actually forgot this little story. Sorry, anecdote time.
Yeah.
So, they take your phones at the Masters.
Correct.
So you don't know what's going on until they change
the leaderboard,
the manual scoreboards, by the way, because, it's all old school and stuff, whatever. So it's manual score. So it's not just like changing instantly, right? So you're sitting there and you'll hear the weirdest roars and the weirdest cheers for nothing more than they changed the scoreboard. And like you find out like, oh, wow, that happened, because like it's not this instant thing where you have your phone in front of you. You're so used to just getting instant gratification. You'd be sitting there watching the broadcast on your phone, right? Like you would know exactly as soon as it happened.
Imagine the people who are like sitting at 16 and they hear these roars on 1 and 2 and the groans and everything. You're like, what is going on? And then you see the leaderboard flip flop, and now you're like, what? He's down. It's tied. And
here's the other thing: they don't have the leaderboards like on every hole.
Yeah.
Right? And so I got to the point because I'm just such a slave to knowing exactly what's going on. I would only sit at holes that had leaderboards,
so you could see the updates. Yeah,
so I could see what was going on.
I'm also surprised they don't put up closed circuit TVs in certain areas. Just so that it's like, hey, it's just this one weekend. It's just our course. We're only showing you the Masters coverage so you can see what is going on in other places.
It was just, for me, that was one of the other weirdest things where it's like 2 holes after, but then it's manual. So they're like manually changing the scoreboard and stuff like that. And then you get this like little mini roar because people people see a change in the leaderboard.
And they're
so
all
like
excited.
Nothing actually happened on the course. It's like it happened literally 10 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago. But that was going on. Okay. So let's check in over on the scoreboard here and see how our bets are going. And I can see right off of the bat that one of mine is going very poorly. So even though the Giants only have 4 hits, the Yankees are losing 5-3.
Up 3-1, up 3-0 at one point. Giving up 5 straight here to the Giants. You mentioned just the 4 hits, some untimely walks for Carlos Rendon.
Walks will kill you.
And then results in multi-run homers, which is never good.
So we shall see how this all plays out again. We still will have 3 at-bats for the Yankees, and we know those bats are good. The Orioles score 4 quick runs and are now stuck on 4. I do at least have a runner on second.
Yeah, nice 1-out double there with Mountcastle coming up to the plate. He's 2 for 2 with a homer, RBI, and a run so far in the game. I have one of my 2 hits, runs, RBIs, and I'm getting a little sweaty here on the second one because it looks like I may only get one more at bat if we don't turn this lineup over.
Yes, I need run here from the Orioles to get the over 4.5 on the team total. 4-3 Rays over the Braves. Braves with 3 runs on 2 hits. Another couple errors actually for the Rays there in that one. So the 4-10 Braves are a run down on the road to the Rays. Only 2 hits, as I said, there in that one for them. Royals and Guardians, this game's just flying by. We're at the bottom of the 8th already. 4-2 in favor of the Royals. Only 4 hits for the Guardians, like we said. Just this total was set at 7, and it wasn't necessarily because, yes, we had Reagans on the hill, but I mean, it wasn't necessarily because it was like 2 aces. Ben Lively was on the hill for the Guardians, but it's just because both these teams just haven't hit at all.
Just not great.
Year.
Yeah. And so we're seeing that struggle right now for the Guardians here.
Reds 4-0 over the Pirates.
Riley Green, another good start.
Yes, just
Hunter Green, I'm sorry.
Yes, just 2 hits for the Pirates there in that one. Another one of the worst offenses in all of baseball. Nats and Marlins 4-3, each team with 8 hits there in that one. Marlins hold the lead at home in the 7th inning. Astros respond to the early run from the Angels. 5 runs for the Astros now, 5-2 over the Angels. This is all these days, 5 runs for the Astros, 4 hits.
Yeah.
Just a lot of wonkiness going on today in the box scores.
And that's a 3-run shot, right? Where you had walks that led up to the home run, and it's just untimely, and those end up turning into runs.
So how do you feel about these such things? I'm going to tell you to look at the Red Sox and White Sox box score.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, how do you feel about such things before I say anything?
Oh, no, you can totally jinx it and it won't jinx it. Look, if Garrett Crochet is listening to us out there, cover your ears. You've got a no-hitter going through 7.
So through 6.
I'm sorry.
And he's only thrown 76 pitches, so he's definitely going to get another inning. But yes, so far, Garrett Crochet, 1 walk, 9 Ks, 0 hits allowed to this White Sox team. And that's through 6 innings.
That's pretty good.
So
that's pretty good. And this White Sox team, this is interesting too, because it's the revenge game. I mean, it's not really revenge, but Crochet, obviously a White Sox last year, did not retain by the team. Now pitching for Boston, probably having fun doing this against his old squad.
Yes, I would say so for sure. That's a 2-0 lead for the Red Sox on the road at the White Sox. 3-1 Twins over the Tigers there in that one. Mize, not bad. Honestly,
no,
I mean,
but
he's gone 5 innings. He's given up 6 hits, 3 earned. He hadn't walked anybody. He's just not missing a ton of bats here in this one, only 2 Ks, but it's just a victim of the long ball. 2 homers there for the Twins there in this one. 1 for Julian, 1 for Buxton.
Yeah, that cost me the first 5 there. The 2 solo shots in the first and second inning. He was very good through 5. He just gave up 2 solo home runs. And outside of that, I thought it was a pretty good outing. Now he's falling apart a little bit here in the 6th, but again, not someone you're looking to pitch 6 or 7 innings. Mize is more of that 5-6 inning type guy. So we'll see if they go to the bullpen. Runners on the corners with one run already in and no one out here in the bottom of the 6th for the Twins.
See what Rory's going to do out of the pine straw here. It does look like he's kind of closing the face on an iron. So I think it's just kind of a punt. Yeah, just a little low puncher. See how close he can try to get it up there and then see if he can't try to go up and down. Oh my gosh, did he make it to the green? No, he cleared the green.
See, those are the shots I think I'd have the best chance at because I'm so experienced in hitting out of trees.
Oh, and he dodged the bunker.
Yeah, it was a great shot.
He dodged the bunker as well.
So he's going to have a nice
pitch.
A pitch, not long.
Yeah.
Like there's not a ton of green to work with, but he's fairly close there. So should be able to go up and down. I mean, looks like it's going to be able to save par from where he was.
Yeah, just closed the club face down on that thing, kept it low, and got it out of the woods there. 2-0 Cardinals over the Phillies. All these games are flying by, too. We're already in the 6th inning there in that one for the Cardinals. Let's see, where did those runs come from? We got a home run out of Contreras, so there we go.
Good news.
See?
2 for the Orioles.
So there we go. Did we get 2?
2 for the Orioles. They're at 6.
Hey, we get the over 4.5 for the Orioles. Okay, so we at least get 1. Maybe we'll split this early if the Yankees can't do any. We'll split
damage.
these early games. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
As you were saying, Contreras hits the home run. One of the players we talked about that was struggling that we're not going to make very much out of.
Yeah, it's just, look, he's a good hitter. He's just he'll get better.
He'll turn around.
Everything will be fine. Okay, so we do have the Mets and the A's. You like this Mets team total?
I do. We've talked a lot about the ballpark there in Sacramento. This is another spot where I'm interested in taking the road team over. The Mets sitting at 4.5 for the total. The game total at 8.5. I like the game total over again if you want to go back to the well there. Severino pitching for the Athletics today. Severino very good in his first start up in Seattle. Struggled in his 2 starts after that at home, giving up multiple home runs in each of those games. Let's take the Mets team total over 4.5 in this spot.
I like it a ton. Brewers offense has just not been there so far this season. The thing is, though, I can't really give this. It's moved to 5.5 per gallon on the Ks, and so it's like, it's just tough because 4.5. Look, if you average a K an inning and you only go 5 innings, at least I'm okay with that. The problem is when you get to 5.5, we just don't know what the leash is going to be for these dudes, how these managers are going to handle things, and so it's a dead bet, I think, now at this point.
Yeah,
at 5.5.
I agree.
So. Unfortunate. That's a move. I think a lot of people saw that 4.5 and thought it was too low for a Brewers offense. It's been pretty swing and miss happy. So
any interest in the Diamondbacks here at all?
What are we looking at on price standpoint?
Minus 125.
Certainly like them better than the Brewers. That's for sure. Certainly with Gallon on the hill. Guys, we talked about $59. Everything to do now till August the 1st. VSiN.com/subscribe. All the best bets, all the splits, all the video feeds that you want, the betting systems. And oh, by the way, the daily articles breaking down everything going on in the sports world. It's hard to handicap everything. Let us help you out. VSiN.com/subscribe. $59 now till August the 1st.
Oh, Mrs. Garcia, you're a school counselor and new homeowner and grad student. You're an ander. National University supports the whole you, so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at nu.edu.
Welcome back to Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Final segment here, Ready, Set, Bet on VSiN. Matt Brown and Mike Somich as Rory McIlroy saves par from out of the woods to stay at 12 under. Bryson DeChambeau cleans it up for himself. So here we are in, just a really big turn of the tides here. Thought that DeChambeau was going to possibly go and take off with this tournament. Instead, still finds himself 3-stroke deficit through 5 holes. And I'll tell you, you look at guys that just didn't take advantage of the opportunity. Corey Connors could have found himself in the mix if he could have started strong. Ludwig Oberg is not going away, but still 4 strokes back of Rory and a couple holes ahead. So there's always that. Mm-hmm. It's just, certainly not over yet. We saw how quickly this thing can turn, but if we're gonna get some drama, we're gonna need Bryson to.
Bryson's the one who needs to make a run here.
Do something
here. Yeah, he's got to put some pressure on Rory. And we saw Rory have that adversity early on and able to overcome the adversity and get right back to this 12 number. Bryson 1 over on the day. Rory currently even par. Connor's the one that you really look at there. 2 over on the day, dropping to just 6 under on the tournament. He's the one who's probably kicking himself here because if you were 2 under instead of 2 over, all of a sudden you're sitting there solo second, 2 back of Rory, and at least putting a little pressure on him. At this point, there's not really much pressure on Rory because he's got this 3-stroke cushion, and you see Bryson kind of struggling right now.
Our friend Jesse Welch, a fan of the network here, and awesome that he contributes a lot, says, what are you talking about that no one cares about the Eastern Conference games? I have a parlay of over season win totals with the Thunder and the Cavs, and the Cavs are sitting at 64-17. He has the over of 64.5. And guess what? They're going to double overtime.
Oh no!
There in that one. Yes.
They were up big.
They're going to double overtime as the Pacers outscore the Cavs 38-20 in the fourth quarter to get it to overtime, in which both teams scored 4 points each in overtime. So we're going to double overtime here between the Cavs and the Pacers, and the game does matter.
It matters
to Jesse.
There you go. Jesse, good luck.
Yeah, matters to Jesse out there. Guys, I want to see your alt tickets on Pat Connaughton.
Yeah, no
kidding.
Going
for 43 points, 11 boards, and 5 assists. Like, I need to see it. I want to see your alt tickets on that one.
I mean, what about Jaime Jaquez?
Yes.
He also had himself a day. He averaging
41, 10, and 7.
Averaging 8, 4, and 2 on the season. Drops 41 on the final day here for the Heat. They end up getting the win. They end up losing to the Wizards. So the Wizards also mattered for them winning because they now are the number 2 team there in the lottery ball draft that we're going to see a little bit later here. The Heat lose by 1. The Bulls win by 20. The Knicks take care of business. They end up winning by 8 over the Nets. The Celtics win a game straight out of 1998, 93-86.
And what we'll say about this one is it's not as crazy because Peyton Pritchard is a contributor there for the Celtics. He averages about 13 or something like that on the season, I think 13 or 14, but 34 for him. Sometimes these guys, it's like you give them the opportunity and they're going up against the other second stringers and you're kind of like, oh, our second stringers are better than your second stringers.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, our guys are better than yours.
If you had Keaton Wallace for a triple-double today, congratulations, that cash.
I'm sure that ticket was nice.
Averaging 5, 1, and 2 on the season. He goes for 15, 11, and 15 for the Hawks. They get the win over the Magic there, 117-105. And in the game of the day right now, Clippers up early, 10-6 with 9 minutes left in the first quarter against the Warriors.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated there on that one. Over in Major League Baseball, thank you, the Orioles, or maybe I should just say thank you to the Blue Jays for a couple of untimely errors.
Well, timely errors.
Yeah, timely errors, yes. Untimely for them, timely for me. Do get over the 4.5 team total there for the Orioles. They're up 6-3 on the Blue Jays in the top of the 7th. The Yankees, top of the 8th. They have just not got anything going here after getting to Webb early. Webb settles down and only goes 5 innings because he threw 97 pitches in those 5 innings there, Mike. He walked 4 over that time span, struck out 5, but limited the damage considering you walked 4 guys. He only gave up 3 earned. He only gave up 5 hits. And with that, they go in, take advantage of some walks from the Yankees and have a 5-3 lead on the road. They
do. This is a Giants team that I think has really performed above expectation right now, 10-4 on the young season, and their bats have been better than what I expected. And so it's a great start here for the Giants. Now have a lead by 2 over the Yankees. See if they can continue to extend it. I am rooting against the Yankees every single day, so I'm happy for this, Matt. Yes. I realize you bet on the Yankees, but they're one of my bigger fades, especially with this Boston team. The Boston wins the AL East, I'll be a very happy future camper.
So we're about to find out how much the Red Sox care because we are now through 7.
Mm-hmm.
Still a no-hitter for Garrett Crochet.
Yeah, but look at the pitch count.
It's at 90. That's what I'm saying. We're about to find out how much they care because...
Well, here's the thing. If you let him go the 8th...
We used to let guys go 100-plus pitches all the time, especially when they had no hitters going.
Yep.
Garrett Crochet is a guy that a lot of people were worried that, hey, how far would he be able to make it this season anyway as the workhorse guy? And here we are, 90 pitches in, early in the season, 11 Ks for him, by the way, in this one. Yes. He is no-hitting the White Sox. You know what? If it was at home, they'd let him go. It's on the road. They're going to pull him.
I think they let him go. I like it. You might be right. But if I'm Garrett Crochet, I'm like, I'm going back out there and I'm going to get this no-hitter against my old team. I don't care what you say. I might strike out 15 and get a no-hitter because he struck out two of the 3 batters there in the bottom of the 7th, including one of them on 3 pitches.
The GM, by the way, is on the phone right now with the manager going, we just gave this dude a massive extension. Pull him out of there immediately.
Do you count no-hitters as the team no-hitters? Is that a real no-hitter to you?
No.
I'm with you. You got to do it yourself.
And it's just it's a bummer. I mean, it's a bummer for him. Like I said, if it was at home, I might say he's a favorite to finish it out. On the road, I just don't know if they're going to do it. It means more at home, right?
The nice part is Boston's getting out very quickly here. So during our discussion, they're already got 2 outs in the top of the 8th as Devers goes down.
So we might find out
3 straight pitches. So we may find out in the next 3 minutes and 50 seconds here
how this is all going to run. Let's get to our G-Bank best bets here. Of course, the official bank of VSiN. You've got a couple of horses, you got a hockey pick, you got all kinds of things here.
Yeah, we'll start out here with the Mets team total over 4.5, going back to the well after yesterday's loss on this one. We won on Friday. I'm just playing team totals of the road teams right now in Sacramento, and specifically like going against Severino. He's given up 2 home runs and each of his 2 starts, so we'll take the over 4.5 there for the Mets team total. That one starts right after we end, so make sure you get that one into your account if you're looking to play it. Over at Keeneland, race number 7, number 5, into Champaign, about 20 minutes to post to this race, 6-1 on the morning line. Second off the layoff here for a horse that's running around 1 turn again after trying to stretch out into the Kentucky Oaks Trail. And then the following race, Keeneland number 8, race number 8, horse number 7, Pandora's Gift, 6-1 on the morning line. Switching barns over to the Christophe Clement barn, picks up Irad Ortiz, should set a very, very good trip, like those prices. Then 1 from the ice, the Flames, -1.5, -115. Must-win game against the Sharks today for the Flames if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, I threw a Zach Gallen strikeout prop in there, but like we said, from last night to this morning, it went up a strikeout. So it's just it's in there, but not anything I can recommend. I don't think at 5.5. Just it's given how pitchers and managers these days are so quick to get dudes out of there. Like the problem with the 6.5, the problem with the 5.5 number on the strikeout is.
The 6 can be tough.
He's got to go. He has to go 6 innings.
At least, yes.
Yeah, he's got to go 6 innings.
The dominant performance.
It's like he's got to go 6 innings, and so with that, you just don't really know with all that. So again, not something I feel wholeheartedly good about recommending. That's it. Hey, maybe if you're playing an afternoon DFS slate or something, whatever, throw them in there for all that. Of course, these best bets are brought to you by G-Bank, the official bank of VSiN. G-Bank up in the ante with up to $750 in bonuses. So listen, if you go open a new account and you are a new customer, you spend $1,000 on eligible purchases within 90 days, they will give you a $250 bonus. If you are a big baller out there putting all kinds of stuff on gaming and sports apps, you can earn up to another $500 in bonuses as well. That could be up to $750 in bonuses. You can apply now at VSiN.com/GBank. That is VSIN.com/GBank, subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions do apply. I'm not going to say that there's no drama.
Crochet is out there to start the bottom of the ninth.
There we go. See, this one's like, let him do it, man.
Let him go for it.
Let him do it.
You have to now. If he gets through this inning, let's say he's at 105, you got to let him go back out, right? You don't
Yes.
send him out for the 8th if you're not sending him out for the 9th.
The only way he doesn't go back out is if this is a 25 pitch inning or something like that.
Something like that. Or gives up an early hit. But the first pitch is a out. So 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom
Well, that works
of the
very
8th.
well for him coming back out for the 9th.
Yes, it does. Line drive there, pop out to first baseman in the foul territory there for the first out. So it's only the 1 pitch, 91 pitches now, bottom of the 8th, 1 out.
Let's
Got
go.
a no going here for Garrett Crochet against his old team, the Chicago White Sox.
All those people that said he was overrated.
I'm one of those people. I still kind of believe it. This is the White Sox. But,
He's got a lot of swing and miss stuff, though.
but he's been better than I would have expected right out of the gate
He's
this
got
year.
a lot of swing. Live Bet Sunday coming up after us, guys. Stick around. They'll let you know how everything turns out, whether he gets a no-hitter or not, or whether Rory ends up blowing it or Bryson ends up winning it, however we want to go back. Cashing out with Joe Soralo a little bit later. Good luck on all your bets, and let's go, Rory!